Hey guys, today's one of those days that I call a gear check, which is basically I kind of pull things out one at a time, clean them, check them, make sure they're still working, make sure they're not rusty, any problems. Just kind of a yearly thing I do right around this time, March, because it tends to be still pretty cold and snowy here in New York, and you start getting bored and cabin fever, so it's always a good time to go through, sort your gear, check on everything, make sure everything's good. And one of the things I thought about while doing this is I wanted to make some videos that I've been meaning to make for a long time, and now I have a nice table full of goods as a backdrop. And today's video I want to talk about gearing up your entire family for a shit hits the fan or survival scenario. There's a lot of great videos out there on YouTube where guys show you all kinds of, just really awesome semi-automatic firearms and really awesome, $200 knives. And that's all you see. There's those couple expensive items that they have. And when I sit down and think about it, I say, does this person really have what it takes to gear up their entire family? And a true grid down shit hits the fan scenario, not only do you need to rely on your food stores, your guns, your ammo, but you need to also count on your brain power, your ability to be clever and adapt and to solve problems. But you also need to be able to count on your family and for your family to be as productive as you. And I don't see this in a lot of videos, so I wanted to make this video to get you thinking. Nothing more, get you thinking. And the problem I see with a lot of people and their collections is that they prep for themselves but not their family. And it's understandable. If you have a family and you have 5 kids, you obviously have a much bigger job than someone like me who has a small family of 3. But the idea being is some people will own a very expensive AR-15 rifle and then the rest of their guns are not suitable for combat. So say that person goes out, takes their AR-15 with them to go do some berry picking, and the house comes under attack, the homestead comes under attack, and people are left to defend the home with the scraps that are left. And the same thing goes. Okay, so you've invested, say, $60 in a nice K-bar, which has a little rust on it I got to deal with, guys. I think the last time I used it, I must not have wiped it down. Okay, so you've got a really nice K-bar and you don't have any other good fixed blade knives. Once again, you walk out berry picking, you leave with the fixed blade knife, you're leaving your family without. So I think it's really important when you buy gear and purchase gear to try and do it in multiples of the amount of family you have. So for me, I have 3 people in my family, so I want to make sure I have 3 good fixed blade knives. They don't have to all be perfect. They can be kind of budget. You got this Cold Steel Bushman here, which is it's also a little rusty. I got to take care of these. These things all need to be sharpened and dealt with. Plus I got to update the survival kit in this. Okay, so this is like 20-something bucks. No big deal. Good carbon steel. You got the K-bar, which is like $50. Probably 60 now, I think they are. And then, okay, so you got this little Mora 2000 Outdoors, good kind of bushcrafting style knife, $25-30. Okay, that covers my family really well for fixed blade knives. I can walk out the door with the K-bar and know that they're in good hands and have a fixed blade knife available to them. Same thing with folding knives. Some people go out and they spend $200 on a really nice Benchmade. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you walk out the door with that Benchmade, the rest of your survival group has nothing. So for me, and my philosophy is, I'd rather have 3 decent folding knives. It just makes sense. That way, if I walk out the door with, say like this Ontario, I can leave my wife with the CRKT or whatever. I didn't grab 3 folders, but I do have, trust me, more than 3 folders. Same thing goes with multi-tools. How many videos do you see guys running around with like a Leatherman charge, like $80, $100 multi-tool, and they have no backup. They have no backup, no nothing. That bothers me. So what happens if you're out picking berries and you drop your Leatherman charge? You don't have a backup. For me, I want that. So I have, you know, the Gerber M&P or MP600. I got the Leatherman sidekick. I've got 4 multi-tools. I actually have enough for my entire family plus one extra. I actually have 2 MP600s. Why? Because that I consider as a very valuable item, but they're also very easy to break and very easy to lose. So definitely want an extra. A very simple premise, and we get into a lot of gear shaming in the community that if it's not a Leatherman, it's garbage. If it's not, you know, an AR-15, it's garbage. If it's not an AK-47, it's garbage. And we can't think like that. We have to think about survival, but not only survival of ourselves, but of our families. How many preppers and videos you see of preppers out there that really only think about themselves? And it's really kind of scary because, you know what, my wife, she shoots a lot. We go shooting all the time. But now that we have a kid, she does not go shooting as much. It's really difficult. We got to go, get a babysitter, you know, then go, drop the kid off, go back, get all our stuff, go to the range, come back, drop our stuff off, go get our kid. You know, it's a huge nightmare. So she doesn't get to go as much as she used to. She's not as comfortable with an AK-47 or an AR-15 as I am. She's very comfortable with something like this Ruger 1022. She's been shooting one of them since she was a little kid. It's about being comfortable too. If I go out and buy 3 AK-47s, I'm kind of setting my family up for failure. Number one, my kid's a toddler. You know, he ain't going to be able to handle something like that until he's, you know, 8, 10 years old. But can he handle a Ruger 1022 as a 5 or 6-year-old? Absolutely. It's all about being smart, thinking about your family, what they can handle, and having enough for everybody, not just you. Planning ahead. Money is valuable. I know, guys. I read your letters, I read your comments, and I know how many of you are struggling, and I know how much it burns you up when you see these videos and the guys are like, oh, I've got an AR-15 for me, an AK-47 for my wife, and 2 more AR-15s for my kids. And for some people who can't afford it, one single AR, that's a really annoying video. So I got some on the table here, but you know what? The $200 Ruger 1022 is just as deadly of a weapon. Everyone can handle it. They've been around forever. They're reliable. How can you go wrong? You know, but you need to think, you need to be careful of the videos you watch and how they influence you. I know sometimes I watch a video, I get excited and I run out and buy something, and then I sit back and think, you know, this really isn't congruent with the plan that I have in place, which is to basically set up my whole family with gear, not just myself. And it's really important to think about. It's really important to know that the certain items, the important items, the things you're going to use as survival tools, guns, knives, tools that you want more than one. You don't want to put your eggs in one basket. And there's always, you know, the people say, oh, there's the law of 3, you know, 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is 2, you know. That's great. But if you have a family of 5, 3 is like half a 1. You know, how is it if you have a family of 5, how are you going to feel good walking out the door, leaving your family with no handgun, or no hunting rifle, or no self-defense gun, because you limited what you bought and what you could handle? So I just wanted to point it out, make you guys think. When you make your purchases, you know, Nothing Fancy hates this tool. He does not like it. In his review of the MP600, he spends the entire time pretty much telling you how the Leatherman Charge is a better tool. Is he right? Probably. You know, Leatherman Charge is pretty awesome. But you know what? I was able to get 2 of these for like $40. And that Leatherman. So for $70, for the price of 1, I was able to get 3. It's not always about me and what I want. I would love the Leatherman Charge, but the needs of my family are more important. So I make sure I have the sidekick I carry with me a lot. This one here, you know, is kind of up my junk drawer. But then the other one of these, the MP600, the other one I have, is actually in my wife's car, in the back of her car, so that she has a tool just for her normal kind of everyday travels. So it's not about you don't just think about yourself, guys. Make sure that you're paying attention to your family, your family's needs, and not just living up to the hype of the videos that